Hi, guys. I'll admit I'm really nervous. You guys are a good-looking crowd, but it doesn't matter. I'm still really nervous. But I want to start off with a quick story. When I was first diagnosed with cancer, there was this fear that the chemotherapy could possibly make me sterile. So it was suggested that I go to a sperm bank and make a deposit. Okay, so who do you think made the suggestion? Let's talk this out. My doctor? My nurse? Yeah. Good old Jewish mother. So I get to the sperm bank with my mom. And to keep in mind, I'm 18, so I'm thinking this experience is going to be like something out of a movie. Hot nurse in a sexy uniform, state-of-the-art erotic material, and all that good stuff to really get me going. And man, whew, I was wrong. The experience was actually like really bad. I walk into this room, it looked like a doctor's office. There was like a little table and a chair and a window, and I'm like, I'll be able to perform my best in here. But I did what I had to do. I handled my business. 10 minutes later, children are in a cup. And who's there? Literally, the first person I see. Hey, Ben, how'd it go? And I'm thinking to myself, like, seriously? Like, do you know what I just had to do? Exactly. Well, it was fun, but it was horrible. So I take my sample, I hand it to the nurse, and the machine analyzes it on the spot. It was actually pretty impressive. She's like, Ben, we have some good news and we have some bad news. I'm right, let's deliver the good news first. She's like, you have an incredible sperm count. I'm like, yes, 18. Why wouldn't it be? The bad news is, Ben, the volume was low, and we're going to have you try it again. I'm like, do you know what I went through in there? I have to do it again? So I kind of am like in disappointment. I'm walking over, and I sit in this chair. Honey, I'm sure you'll get him next time. You know, my mom was like consoling me like I just failed the test or lost a soccer game. I couldn't believe it. That experience was one for the ages. And I went back a few more times, but don't worry about it, guys. I'm good. When I was 18 years old, I ran into a thief of time. This thief tried to steal a big part of 6 years of my life. It tried to steal my identity, and in fact, it tried to steal my entire future. The name of the thief is, of course, cancer, in my case, Hodgkin's lymphoma. But we're just going to get off to a quick start. I got some really good news. As of 2 weeks ago, because of City of Hope, I am 5 effing years cancer-free. It all started for me 4 days before I was supposed to move into college my freshman year. My doctor sat me down and said the words that nobody ever wants to hear. Ben, I'm afraid we have some tough news. You have cancer. Now, I don't think I knew it at the time, but the denial had started to kick in. You know, my friends, they were embarking on this journey. I was sitting at home dealing with this crap that I didn't even know what it was. I would look in the mirror all the time, and even though I saw this sick kid, bald, no eyebrows, no hair, it wasn't me. I was never that kid with cancer, and I never wanted to be treated that way. And that's how I got through 6 years of chemotherapy and 2 bone marrow transplants. There was no way that I could deny the pain, the discomfort, the endless hours of chemotherapy, or the numbing exhaustion. But there was one thing that I could deny. I could deny that this giant axe hanging over my head was calling into question everything I thought I knew about myself. Who I was, what I thought I wanted, and what I thought was important out of life. But if I could focus on getting through one day, each day at a time, I could kick that can down the road. And that's what I did. I got through each day one day at a time, 18 years old to 24 years old, and I got out on the other side of it. And today I'm 28, standing in front of you, cancer-free. Now, my doctor, who was in that video, his name is Dr. Stephen Foreman. If you don't know him, he's a god. He guided my family like a captain on a ship headed for rough waters, with more care, compassion, patience, emotional intelligence, and the most up-to-date cancer-driven research in this country to lead us all to this moment today, to give me the ability to speak to you all, to share my story, because he knew that if he could get me through cancer, I would tell my story for everyone to hear. Now here's the magic of City of Hope. You've heard some really cool things about City of Hope. You've heard about the research, and you've heard about the doctors, and you've heard about Mr. Robert Stone, and you've heard about all the amazing work that this hospital does. But what you haven't heard about is how they treat their patients, and it is truly magical. You walk through those doors, and you never want to be known as that kid with cancer. You always want to be known as just that kid who wants to get through each day, one day at a time. They saw me as a young, energetic, determined young adult. They saw me as a kid who was going to defeat cancer. They didn't judge me. They didn't look at me differently. They didn't say, wow, he's bald, he must feel different. They looked at me and said, that's Ben Teller. He's probably going to crack a sperm story joke and have a really good time up here. Samuel Golter, one of City of Hope's founders, said there is no profit in curing the body if in the process we destroy the soul. I'll say it one more time. There is no profit in curing the body if in the process we destroy the soul. City of Hope recognized my soul as something important. They recognized that at age 20 years old, if they decided to destroy my soul, I would never come out to be where we are today. I remember this one moment. It was my third bout with cancer. My doctor said, Ben, look, you have cancer again. And he said, I'm going to have to pull you out of school and undergo chemotherapy. And I looked at him, and I said, Steve, no way. The fear was that if you pulled me out of school for a third time, I'd already been removed twice, I most likely wouldn't graduate. And the hardest part was that for me, I'd spent so many years trying to get through school, and it was hard enough as it was. But because of City of Hope's advances in technology and targeted chemotherapy, there was this brand new drug that you guys heard about. It's called SGN-35. And it actually allowed me to graduate college on time, undergoing chemotherapy, walk on stage with my friends. I was home once every 3 weeks for 6 months. Not one person knew. That is why City of Hope is the best hospital around. They treated the soul, they treated the patient, they knew college was important, and they gave me that opportunity to graduate. You know, when you stay at the hospital, you're kind of secluded. You're stuck into these rooms for a while, and I spent about 31 days in the hospital, 2 separate times. My mom wouldn't leave my side. She just wouldn't do it. So think about a makeshift couch. Think about a chair about what you're sitting on. Imagine sleeping in it for 31 days. That was my mom, 31 days. About day 29, I said, Mom, you gotta go home. You gotta get to work, you gotta shower. Like, I'm gonna be okay. She went home and I freaked out. I lost it. You know, the person that had been there for me since day one wasn't there anymore. So my night nurse came in and she sat with me and we just talked. She kind of eased me into bed. And that was a special moment because I don't think most people would do that. I don't think most people would understand that there's real fear in what you're going through. And City of Hope understood that. And to bring that story like full circle, 3 weeks ago I needed a favor. I called that nurse. She answered the phone and she helped me. It's a beautiful, beautiful organization to be a part of. It's hard to explain the work that this hospital does. I highly recommend that we all go and visit it once, just to see all the good work that they do. You know, I think to myself, the fact that we won't be here forever is what makes each moment precious. And the fact that sometimes it takes a really scary, traumatic episode to wake us up to those realities is what makes each person in their life precious. City of Hope taught me that there are precious moments in our life and that we're allowed to be grateful for them. We don't always have the ability to choose the direction of our life. Sometimes it goes in directions that we don't predict, but we have absolutely one choice. We can choose how we respond. It's not about our attitude, it's about our action. If we can take control and our action follows itself, everything will just fall into place. If you stay positive, if you work hard, if you do what the doctors say, you can be like me on this stage, literally on cloud 9. I've never been more happy to be in front of a group of people who have been more eager to kick cancer's butt as much as I am. I am humbled and blessed to be able to share my story. And I'm gonna keep sharing my story. I'll never stop sharing my story because I know that people need to hear it. We need to know the work that the City of Hope does. We need to know that there are hospitals that treat the patient, that treat the young adult, that treat the individual, and that give us the ability to stand where we are today. My name is Ben Teller. I'm 28 years old, and I'm just getting started. Thank you.